Well, listeners, get ready for a double dose of lunar excitement. We're diving deep into not one, but TWO private moon missions set to blast off in January 2025.
Two private moon missions in a single month. That's definitely a sign of the times.
Yeah.
Talk about a giant leap forward for the private space industry.
Absolutely. We're talking about Japanese company ispace going for their second attempt at a moon landing with resilience. And then there's Texas-based Firefly Aerospace, all set to make their lunar debut with Blue Ghost.
It's incredible to see this kind of international participation in lunar exploration, with private companies now leading the charge.
And the stakes are pretty high, right? I mean, we've only ever had one private spacecraft successfully touch down on the moon before.
Yeah, the pressure is on for sure. If either ispace or Firefly nails this landing, it'll be a huge win for the private space sector, not to mention the boost it'll give to scientific research and commercial ventures on the moon.
So let's start with ispace. Their first mission back in April 2023 sadly didn't go as planned. That Hakuto lander ran into a sensor glitch during its descent.
It was a tough break for them, no doubt. But space exploration has always been about pushing the limits and learning from setbacks. And ispace, to their credit, they haven't given up. Mission 2, with the Resilience lander, shows they're in it to win it.
Resilience, that's a fitting name given the circumstances. But what's different about this mission? What sets Resilience apart from their first attempt?
Well, for starters, they've chosen a much more fuel-efficient route to the moon this time around.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it'll take them 4 to 5 months to get there, longer than the first mission, but it reduces a lot of the complexity and risk involved.
That makes sense. A slower, steadier approach seems like the way to go when you're aiming for a lunar landing. But enough about the journey. What about the cargo? What cool tech is Resilience carrying?
Buckle up, because Resilience is packed with 5 amazing payloads. First up, a water electrolyzer. This thing is designed to extract water molecules from lunar soil. Imagine that.
Wait, making water on the moon, that sounds like pure science fiction.
It does, doesn't it? But that's the reality we're moving toward. And there's more. Resilience is also carrying an experimental food production module. They're testing if we can actually grow food in the harsh conditions on the moon.
So are we talking about future moon farms? That's incredible.
We might be, though there are still tons of challenges to overcome. But these experiments are the first steps toward self-sustaining lunar settlements.
Okay, water production, food experiments. This is wild. What else is Resilience bringing to the lunar party?
There's a deep space radiation probe. This will be collecting data on radiation levels beyond Earth's protective magnetosphere. That data is crucial for planning longer missions, not just to the moon, but to Mars, and maybe even further.
Wow, so this little lunar lander is helping us explore the vastness of space in a big way.
Exactly. And of course, you can't have a moon mission without a rover, right? Resilience is carrying the tenacious micro-rover.
Tenacious, I love it.
It's a tiny but mighty rover, just over 10 inches tall, developed by ispace's subsidiary in Luxembourg.
So what will this little explorer be doing on the lunar surface?
Tenacious has a big job, collecting lunar samples for NASA. It'll help us learn more about the moon's composition and its history. It's a perfect example of how private companies and government agencies can team up to advance science.
All right, so ispace is bringing a lot to this lunar mission. But let's shift gears to Firefly Aerospace. This is their first ever moon mission, dubbed Ghost Riders in the Sky, with their lander, Blue Ghost.
It's an ambitious one. Blue Ghost will be delivering 10 scientific instruments and technology demos for NASA's Commercial Lunar Payload Services program. It's known as CLPS for short.
So both companies are collaborating with NASA, but with distinct missions. It's like they're each contributing a unique piece to the lunar exploration puzzle.
You got it. And it's not just about different payloads. They're taking different approaches to reaching the moon, too. While Resilience is taking the scenic route with that low-energy trajectory, Blue Ghost will be on a more direct path. It'll hit lunar orbit in about 45 days.
Wow, so even though they're launching around the same time, their journeys are totally different. Are they at least landing in the same spot on the moon?
Nope. They're aiming for different lunar addresses. Resilience is headed for Mare Frigoris, a massive plain way up north of the lunar equator. Blue Ghost has its sights set on Mare Crisium, a basin closer to the equator.
So 2 companies, 2 spacecraft, 2 different paths, and 2 different landing sites. That's a lot to wrap our heads around. But it also shows how diverse the scientific interests are and how much unexplored territory there is on the moon.
You're absolutely right. Each mission presents unique opportunities for scientific discovery. Resilience will be exploring a region thought to have potential water ice deposits, while Blue Ghost will be studying an area rich in volcanic features.
It's fascinating how each mission adds another layer to our understanding of the moon. But what about the challenges? What will these landers have to face once they touch down?
Oh, operating on the lunar surface is no walk in the park. We're talking extreme temperatures that swing from scorching hot during the day to freezing cold at night. And then there's the whole no atmosphere thing, meaning no protection from micrometeoroids or solar radiation.
It sounds like a pretty brutal environment. So how are these landers designed to handle all that?
Well, they've got robust thermal insulation to regulate internal temperatures. They're also equipped with specialized shielding to protect those sensitive instruments from radiation and those pesky micrometeoroid impacts. And of course, they've got advanced navigation and communication systems so they can operate autonomously in that challenging lunar landscape.
It blows my mind to think about all the engineering and ingenuity that goes into designing a spacecraft capable of not just reaching the moon, but actually surviving and working on its surface.
It's a true testament to human ingenuity and that relentless desire to explore beyond our own planet. These missions represent a big step forward for lunar exploration, paving the way for a future where the moon becomes a more accessible and familiar destination.
And speaking of the future, both of these missions are contributing to something much bigger. They're part of a larger vision for a sustainable presence on the moon, one that involves not just scientific research, but also commercial ventures and even the possibility of lunar settlements.
Exactly. The data and experience we gain from these missions will be crucial in developing the technologies and infrastructure we need for long-duration lunar missions, and maybe even a permanent human presence on the moon someday.
Wow, it really feels like we're on the verge of a whole new chapter in lunar exploration, one where the moon becomes a real part of our human story.
It's exciting to think about, right? Imagine lunar outposts bustling with activity, scientists doing groundbreaking research, entrepreneurs starting new industries, maybe even families living on the moon.
It does sound a bit like science fiction, but these missions are laying the foundation for it. And it's not just about what we find on the moon itself. These technologies we're developing for lunar exploration, they could revolutionize industries back here on Earth.
You're spot on. Look at GPS, memory foam, even scratch-resistant lenses. They all came from space research.
It's amazing how those advancements have had such a huge impact on our lives.
Absolutely. And the further we venture into space, the more potential there is for these spin-off technologies. Who knows what incredible innovations will come out of our efforts to build a sustainable presence on the moon.
Speaking of sustainability, I'm really intrigued by ispace's water electrolyzer. The idea of getting water from lunar soil just opens up so many possibilities.
It's a total game changer. Water is essential for life support, obviously, but we can also break it down into hydrogen and oxygen. And guess what? That's rocket fuel.
Hold on, are you saying we could have a lunar refueling station? Spacecraft could travel further into the solar system without having to carry all their fuel from Earth?
You got it. It would make missions to Mars and beyond way more feasible and affordable.
That's mind-blowing. Just think of the impact something as seemingly simple as a water electrolyzer could have. It could completely change how we approach space travel.
It just goes to show how interconnected scientific advancements are. Solving one problem can lead to so many other breakthroughs. It's a chain reaction of amazing possibilities.
And it's not just about technological innovation, right? There's the whole economic aspect of the moon to consider, too.
Absolutely. The moon is loaded with resources that could be used for lunar settlements and even brought back to Earth. Rare Earth elements, helium-3, and maybe even water ice.
It sounds like the moon could be a hub for a whole new space economy. Industries built around resource extraction, manufacturing, maybe even lunar tourism.
It's definitely within the realm of possibility. But it also brings up important questions about how we manage those resources responsibly and cooperate internationally. How do we make sure the development of a lunar economy benefits everyone, not just a few?
That's a crucial point. As we step into this new frontier, we have to be really careful about the ethical and legal implications of what we do.
I couldn't agree more. Just as we strive for technological innovation, we need to prioritize ethical considerations and international collaboration. That's how we'll ensure a sustainable and equitable future for lunar exploration.
These are complex issues, but also super exciting to think about. It feels like we're at a turning point where the decisions we make today will shape how humanity interacts with the moon for generations to come.
It's a time of incredible opportunity, but also great responsibility. And it's a reminder that space exploration is about so much more than just rockets and robots. It's about our hopes and dreams, our shared responsibility for our planet and beyond. and our constant desire to understand our place in the universe.
That's a beautiful way to put it. It's easy to get lost in the technical details of these missions, but it's the human side of it all that makes them so captivating.
You're absolutely right. Behind the complex engineering and science, there are teams of incredibly passionate people who have dedicated their lives to pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Their creativity, determination, and hard work are what's making this new era of lunar exploration a reality.
And it's not just the engineers and scientists. There are so many other people contributing to these missions. Technicians, support staff, communicators, even artists and musicians inspired by space.
It truly is a collective effort, fueled by a shared sense of wonder and a desire to explore the unknown. It's a reminder that space exploration has the power to inspire and unite us. It transcends national borders and cultural differences.
What about the next generation? Just imagine all the young people watching these launches and dreaming of becoming astronauts, engineers, scientists, maybe even lunar entrepreneurs.
They are the ones who will inherit this incredible legacy of exploration. Who knows what amazing things they'll achieve? Maybe they'll be the ones building the first permanent lunar settlements, doing groundbreaking research on the far side of the moon, or even going beyond our lunar neighbor to establish a human presence on Mars.
It's humbling and inspiring to think about all the possibilities. These missions aren't just about getting to the moon. They're about expanding our horizons, pushing the limits of human ingenuity, and inspiring future generations to dream big.
I couldn't have said it better. These missions are a testament to the power of human ambition and our endless fascination with the cosmos. They remind us that we can achieve incredible things when we work together, and that the future of space exploration holds boundless potential.
You know, we've been talking about lunar bases and the future of space travel, but I want to go back to something specific that really caught my attention. Firefly's Blue Ghost lander is going to be taking pictures of the lunar sunset. I mean, how cool is that?
It is pretty amazing, right? But it's not just about getting awesome pictures. Scientists are actually really interested in studying how lunar regolith, that's the loose, powdery stuff on the moon's surface, reacts to the sun during lunar dusk. It could give us valuable insights into the properties of lunar dust and how it might affect future habitats and infrastructure on the moon.
It's fascinating how even a simple sunset can offer such valuable scientific opportunities. It shows how much we still have to learn about our closest celestial neighbor.
Exactly. And that's what makes these missions so compelling. They're not just about achieving specific goals, they're about expanding our knowledge and understanding of the universe we live in. Every observation, every experiment, every image captured brings us closer to unraveling the mysteries of the moon and beyond.
It's easy to get swept away by all this talk of lunar sunsets and future moon bases, but we can't forget about the challenges that come with exploring this new frontier.
Right, space exploration always has an element of risk.
Yeah, I mean, these missions face so many hurdles.
Yeah.
The technology, the harsh lunar environment, and then there's always the chance of something unexpected happening.
Absolutely. And it's not just about overcoming those challenges, it's about doing it responsibly and ethically.
Exactly. We have to make sure that our lunar endeavors benefit all of humanity.
I agree completely.
We need to consider the impact we're having on these celestial environments and think about the legal and ethical implications of everything we do out there, like resource extraction, commercial activities, even the possibility of lunar settlements.
It's a complex landscape to navigate, but it's a conversation we absolutely need to have.
Right, we can't just assume that technology will magically solve the ethical dilemmas.
We have to approach lunar exploration with humility,
Yeah.
recognizing that we're stepping into a realm we don't fully understand.
And we have to do it with a commitment to international cooperation and responsible stewardship.
That's so important.
It's a good reminder that space exploration isn't just about scientific discovery and technological advancements.
It's about so much more than that.
It's also about our values, our ethics, and our vision for the future.
It's about ensuring that our lunar endeavors represent the best of humanity, our ingenuity, our compassion, and our commitment to a sustainable future for everyone.
Well said. It's inspiring to see how these missions are sparking a global conversation about our connection to the moon and our place in the universe.
Me too. It's exciting to think about what the future holds as we continue to push the boundaries of what's possible.
We're living in a time of incredible advancements, and our understanding of the moon is evolving so rapidly.
Yet each mission teaches us something new and paves the way for even more ambitious endeavors in the future.
It's a true testament to human curiosity and our drive to explore and innovate.
It really is. And it reminds us that there's still so much out there to discover.
So as we wait for the launch of Resilience and Blue Ghost in January, Let's remember that their missions are about so much more than just reaching the moon.
They represent a huge leap forward for space exploration and a step forward in our shared journey of discovery.
Who knows what we'll find on the moon, what resources we'll uncover, what mysteries we'll solve.
It's an incredible prospect.
So mark your calendars for January 2025, folks. This is a lunar event you won't want to miss.
It sure is.
And until then, keep looking up, keep exploring, and keep those lunar dreams alive.